The following is a project of our nonprofit newsroom. Support Midcoast Morning and local journalism today at chly.ca/donate. Local news doesn't survive without local support.
Hello and welcome to Midcoast Morning. I'm Joe Pugh. The Nanaimo Lions Club is looking for new members as it marks its 80th anniversary. Part of the international Lions movement started in Chicago in 1917, the Nanaimo Lions Club raises funds and contributes them back into community projects. Some examples include the Lions Pavillion at Maffeo Sutton Park and the Lions Great Footbridge at the park over the Millstone River. The organization is holding an anniversary celebration Saturday in Maffeo Sutton Park. Earlier this week, that's where I met up with a trio of members, President Bob Huck and longtime members and past presidents Larrie Taylor and Al Brett. Member of the club since 2006, member of the club for 56 years.
And 2 years for me.
Member of the club for 2 years. We've got it all. The club has been around for 80 years. And you're going to be celebrating that this upcoming Saturday here where we're having this conversation in Maffeo Sutton Park. What does the Lions Club actually do?
Well, we basically raise money for serving the public here, and that's sort of about half of our effort, and the other half is to actually give it out to various endeavors that we like to support, like health and like students, youth, that sort of thing. We prioritize things like vision screening. We do vision screening for kids. We donate money to the hospital here for various activities that they're trying to raise funds for. We help individuals with emergency things that they're looking for. What else do we do? We have a free skate program that we put on every winter. It goes for pretty much the whole winter, which is a very popular program. I think we have about 6,000 people that come out to skate over the course of that period. We have a free swim program that follows that, and what else do we have?
Well, I think that we're part of the larger organization of Lions International, and it's actually the largest service club in the world. There's over 50,000 clubs in the world in over 200 countries and 1.3 million lions. So we're just a very small part of that organization. That the motto of Lions International is "We serve," and we bring that down through the organization. So the things that Bob's mentioning to you are those things that we follow up on our motto. And Larrie, I think, is much more aware of what goes on at a level just above our club, too. Larrie?
Well, I was just going to mention, historically, our club did large capital projects like the pavilion behind us, housing, the bridge. Now we focus more on service, like the free skate. But Lions International is when there's an emergency anywhere in the world, Lions International is always the first agency to provide funding. And because we're in almost every community, the funds go direct to the Lions Club in that community. And the issues have to be addressed immediately.
So you're a service club, a service organization is a good way to think of it for people. Like you get together, you get donations through various efforts, and then you basically use them to help things happen in the community, whether that's free skates or whether that's infrastructure like the pavilion everyone sees at Maffeo Sutton Park.
Yeah. One of the interesting ones we've just completed this year was to do vision screening. We went through all the elementary schools in Nanaimo here and screened the kids or the children from in grades 1 and grades 5 to make sure that their vision was okay. We did 2,000 kids that way, 2,000 students, and of those we had 188 that were determined to have impairments and recommended them to go to an optometrist. So here we are identifying these kids who perhaps were having trouble in school, seeing the blackboard or reading or seeing a teacher. In fact, in some of the cases, I saw some cases that were quite impaired. and we're able to identify those and get them fixed.
Yeah, the camera that we use identifies 6 eye conditions. Nearsighted, farsighted, and then a number that I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
And I think also when you were talking about the eyesight, one of the primary efforts for Lions International is vision, and it goes way back to the 1920s with Helen Keller. But we still have that very much in our club today, Bob. You were just talking the other day about our eyeglass donations.
Yeah, we go around and collect used eyeglasses from all the optometrists in town here. And last year we collected 8,700 pairs of eyeglasses. And these eyeglasses actually are packaged up and they're sent off to a prison in Alberta, where a judge who was a former Lions member had set up a measuring program so that he could, identify and measure these and package them to send them off to third world countries. I just saw the publication of all the third world countries that all the Lions together have been sending, and it's just absolutely amazing, where this program reaches.
The individual was Judge Brian Stevenson, who was international president, and his joke that you guys collect the glasses and I provide the labor.
So how do you decide on what projects you're going to do in any given year? And like, if someone is a member of the club, what does that actually mean? What does that look like on a kind of week-to-week basis?
Well, I think first of all, the background is that we're non-political, non-sectarian, so we're just people from any walk of life that can come there, and we don't get involved in anything that's political or religious. So from there, it's pretty much just a democratic organization. Somebody comes with a good idea, if they can get the membership involved and do that, we carry on to look at how we can do the fundraising and whether we can pull it off or not. So.
And we have developed a donation policy that we try to stick to. So when we see projects coming along, we'll judge them against the policy that we've established, just to keep some discipline in the whole thing. I'll tell you another one that was really interesting. We support Lifeline. Have you the Lifeline, the emergency button that people wear in order to allow them to stay in their homes a little longer? And we provide some support to that as well. It's part of the health services we provide. 2 others that we provide, by the way, are going to be 2 bands that are going to be actually performing on Saturday morning. One is the Pavillion, and the other one is the Welland Jazz Band, and we provide some support to both of those bands. Those 2 bands are kind of nationally known, nationally winning bands. They're really a tribute to Nanaimo. Those 2 bands.
How did each of you get involved with the Lions Club? I know we were talking off the hop that you each joined, I guess, in very different decades. Could you tell me maybe a bit about what made you find out about it and what the club was like when you joined?
I'm probably the most recent one. I joined about 2 years ago, and I simply joined because I felt I had some time on my hands and I wanted to do some service to the community. And I actually had a very good friend that I used to curl with that was a member of the club, and I approached him and said, can I be of any help? And he kind of dragged me into the club, which worked very well. I think I was inducted into the membership in about the first week I joined there.
It only took us a year for him to move right to the top of our club organization, and has filled it very well.
How about for you, Al?
Well, going back to 1970 when I joined the club, I was transferred here with the company. And when I was transferred here, as a teenager, not quite, but anyway, the real estate agent I had at the time was a member of the Lions, and so it wasn't very long before he had me out to a meeting. And back in the days, there was a lot of company representation got into organizations, and our company wanted us to be part of the community somehow. So they also supported me in joining the club.
What was the club like in the 1970s?
Oh man, it was a lot bigger than it is today. We're kind of aging out, unfortunately, and that's why we're really looking for new members to carry this on. But back then, we had like 70 members of the club from all walks of life. Mostly people were still working. We were and always have been a dinner club. We always meet on the first and third Mondays of the month, and we've always been a dinner club. And it was really a pretty vibrant organization back in the day. I mean, we actually had elections to see who we were going to have as president, not side discussions and saying, you can do it.
And so this Saturday you're celebrating 80 years of the Nanaimo Lions Club. Doing the math, that works out to not that long after the end of the Second World War. I understand maybe some folks coming back from the war looking for something to do, played a part in the founding of the Lions Club here. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, I think, from the recollection I have of some of the members that were still in the club when I joined, a lot of them were returning servicemen. And of course, with our motto, we serve, it kind of fit. They were serving one way and then, joined a club that served another. But we were sponsored by the Ladysmith Lions Club at the time. And the Ladysmith Lions Club was 5 years old when that happened. One of our early fundraising ventures with this club was a group that entertained. And back in the day, I think its name was Our Gang. People today might not remember what it was, and I don't remember what it was. But it was one of the big first fundraising events for the Nanaimo Lions Club, and it failed miserably. And it cost the Ladysmith Club something in the order of $5,000 back in the day. And they still remind us of that and might remind us again on Saturday, I'm not sure.
Thanks for warning me. I'm going to be MC of the presentations on Saturday.
The club
so
used
I'll be
to
prepared.
do a lot of hands-on work over on Newcastle. There's a large facility there, and I've seen pictures where our club members were actually constructing that facility.
Yeah, it was a hands-on project for us. It's a picnic pavilion or a picnic cover over there. Fairly nice one.
Well, it seems like the club has left its mark on Nanaimo. Here in Maffeo Sutton Park, you can see the Nanaimo Lions Pavillion. There's the bridge, the Lions Great Bridge. What are some of the things people might not necessarily realize are part of Nanaimo that the Lions Club has contributed?
Well, if you want to start right here with the picnic pavilion over on Newcastle Island, and just over here to our right in the children's playground, one of the best on Vancouver Island, we supplied a piece of equipment that was wheelchair accessible. And if you move from our pavilion, our Lions Bridge, and you move the other side of the bridge up to a place called Barsby Park, we were instrumental in getting all the trails and everything through Barsby Park and making that a functional park. And then you go up across the railway to the curling club, and right beside the curling club there's a lacrosse box. And the Lions Club put that lacrosse box in there many years and still used for many functions. And as you move up into Bowen Park, you can find what we call our Lions Second Narrow Bridge that's up there. Not far from that, we built a children's play farm. We did it with reconstructed materials, a hands-on project from a barn, an old pole barn we tore down in Harewood. So we used all the old barn materials and actually built a barn there that the 4-H club used with animals in the summertime. It's now, the city's made some decisions and that's gone. A little further down there's a duck pond, in the lower duck pond. The Nanaimo Lions Club were instrumental in putting that in there too. I don't know if I missed anything, but that's
there's also Harewood lacrosse.
And yes, if you go into Harewood, another lacrosse box, it's really a recreation center now. It's more than just lacrosse, but that was also our club. And in the Harewood Park, there's another piece of equipment, Larry.
Yeah, well, we helped pay for the surfacing. Rather than, they just had sawdust, and they've changed the surface to more friendly if you fall.
You should describe how that bridge was built and how it got its name, because that's kind of a unique story.
Way back when we were thinking about that project, because as you can see from here, the walkway just stops at the millstone on both sides. And anybody coming up the other way, if they really wanted to get over here, they had to go up and cross the Pearson Bridge and down this side. So it really stopped a lot of people, and especially older people, out for their walk. They could only go so far each way. It was looking across the moat almost to the other side. So we did come up and were able to get the club supporting the project, which At the time, we weren't sure what the cost would be. It ended up being somewhere in the order of $500,000 back in the day. And so what were we going to put across? So we came up with the ingenious idea that maybe what we should do is a miniature Lions Gate Bridge in whatever way we could do it. And we were to talk to the engineering students over at UBC so they could kind of do the design for us. We didn't get into that project very far before we found out that we weren't able to put a solid bridge across. The millstone apparently has to be navigationally available. So we had to change the whole design of the bridge and put in a swing section so that boats could go up and down the millstone. And so with that, we had to change the design, but we still maintained the name, the Lions Great Bridge. It just seemed to work well. And by the way, the bridge does get opened. It gets opened once a year for annual inspection and has never been used for anything else since 1990.
But the beam on the bottom...
Didn't you salvage the beam from somewhere?
Well, in terms of a number of the bridges we recycled. The Lions Second Narrow Bridge up in Bowen Park, we recycled the beams from number 4 Woodroom at Harmac when it was being torn down, and we managed to use those. And then when we built this bridge here, the center beam that's supporting that bridge is part of the monorail from Expo 86. Duncan got their big hockey stick and they made a big deal out of that, and nobody knows that we've got a part of it here, and it's the supporting beam under the Lions Great Bridge, part of the monorail from Expo 86.
Well, the hockey stick is no longer with us in Duncan,
No,
but
the bridge is here, and hopefully for a long time. If you walk across the bridge from the north to the south, you'll come to a wall. It's a wall that commemorates those who were involved in assisting with building the bridge. And in the center where that brass plaque is, there's some beautiful white marble. That white marble, the Italian stonemason that was assisting us in building that bridge knew that there was a pile of marble in the old city works yard that actually came from the restoration of the cemetery on Bowen Road. When it went into disrepair and the city took it over many years ago, they salvaged a lot of that marble, and that white marble in that section is from the old Nanaimo cemetery, so recycled again.
I was just going to say, another project we used to do for individuals. We used to build wheelchair ramps. We're not doing it anymore. It became sort of a concern with liability, but we built several wheelchair ramps for individual homes.
We built a number of those that was architecturally designed by our architect, our resident architect, Larrie Taylor, sitting beside me.
Midcoast Morning is part of our nonprofit newsroom project, supported by listeners like you. Keep this program on the air by funding it today with a monthly sustaining donation at chly.ca/donate. We've got tote bags and shirts if you need an incentive.
As the Nanaimo Lions Club gets set to mark 80 years with a celebration this Saturday at Maffeo Sutton Park, I met up with a trio of members to talk the history of the Nanaimo Service Club. Brett, Larrie Taylor, and club president Bob Huck met up with me at the park Tuesday afternoon.
You talk about bridges, pavilions, infrastructure projects. You mentioned, $500,000 back in the day. Are there still projects of that kind of scope that you're able to coordinate and contribute on?
Not quite of that magnitude, but we are doing substantial donation to the new cancer facility, but not of this magnitude.
No, capital projects of that size or anything of that nature really is kind of a bit beyond the scope of what our club is able to do because of the size of our club now. We really need to expand the club so we can get into larger fundraising projects to do that. And we need some younger life in it now too. So that's one of our main projects, I would say now, Bob, wouldn't you?
Yeah, membership. Yeah, to get more members. You know what? We need to try and find ways to increase the revenue that we raise, because of course that's half the club's activities. We can, whatever we raise, we spend. We spend every nickel that we raise.
Yeah, a Lions policy is every nickel you raise from the community has to go back to the community. We can't even use it to operate the club.
What are those efforts to get new members involved in the club like? What are kinds of things are you trying to do?
Well, we started a few new things this past few months. We've been putting posters up around town. We've been doing a fair bit of advertising in the Bulletin and in other media areas. MS Now, News Now, I guess, and Nanaimo News Now. And we're basically making ourselves a bit better known in the community and telling them that, telling people that we're trying to get more people to join us.
And we're going to have an 80th anniversary celebration on Saturday, and we're going to be begging for new members.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think there's something maybe just about the culture as a whole in society, maybe here in Canada or BC or North America or the world in general, that has changed over the last few decades as it relates to like these organizations like the Lions Club that were started in the wake of, I think the original Lions Club was founded in 1917 and kind of in the context of the First World War, of people trying to come together and give back? Like, do you think we still have that same kind of culture that existed then now, or has something changed?
I think we probably is not as strong now as it was, because I think almost every organization like ourselves are looking for members as well. I think we have the problem that our members are getting older, and we're not bringing new young ones in like we should. I don't know. I guess people are busy with family events and other sports things and everything else that is detracting from this kind of
internationally
service.
Lions are growing in India, in China, in the Orient, but not in North America. And partly related, people just to survive have both members of the household are working, and it's more of a challenge. Plus, young people are still volunteering. They're not volunteering, but they're volunteering for their kids' hockey or their kids' sports. So, they're still donating a lot of time. And, that's an issue we have to address, because you mentioned 1917. We tend to still be operating on the same model that we did in 1917.
Yeah. But interestingly, we just had 2 new members join us this last week, which is really good. And I asked them, what drew them to our club, and one of them said he saw the advertising in the Bulletin and other advertising that we had. And the other guy had transferred in from another region. So,
well, what does it take to join the club?
I think a willingness to serve, just something to give back. If you feel like you've had a pretty good go of it in your life, and you want to give something back, and you've got that giving spirit, it doesn't take anything much more than that. Really.
And also, I think the things that we do are often quite rewarding. Like the vision screening, for example, that I mentioned before. That was very rewarding. Or going around helping people get emergency buttons so that they can stay in their homes longer. And I actually help install those with the hospital as well. So I see the actual people that are getting these things, and it's really quite amazing to see the impact that those things have. The impact that we have in seeing new kids picking up instruments and learning how to play fiddles or learning how to play jazz musician instruments. It's quite rewarding to see that kind of thing happening as a result of some of the funding that we provide.
So you're having this 80th anniversary celebration Saturday in Maffeo Sutton Park. What is going to be happening there?
Well, we're going to start off with a band playing some music right at the start, about 9:45 in the morning at Pavillion. I know you probably know about Pavillion, the group of children or kids that are from 12 to 18 years old that have been trained to be just about professional musicians. I mean, they're just amazing when you see these kids play. So they're coming in to start the program. Then we'll have our mayor speaking for a few minutes just to welcome everybody and to, I think, give a message of the benefits of serving the community. Then we're going to have Valdi. I don't know if you know of Valdi. Valdi is an old-time folk music singer that's been around almost as long as we have, I guess. And he's an excellent musician, well known in the country, and he's actually also a Lion at Salt Spring Lions Club, so he's going to be coming. We're going to have Al here give a talk on the history of what we've been doing.
We've also invited the organizations that we have supported over the years. They'll be setting up tents and information places here. So I think there's 15 or 20 of them coming.
I think about 20 or so,
Yeah, so we're giving them an opportunity to promote themselves as well.
Right now we see rain in the forecast, so we'll keep our fingers crossed it doesn't get too wet.
Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been nice to have held this in July, but this was the only time available. It's so well used, this park.
No doubt in part because of the great pavilion that there's. Bears your club's name. Is there anything else you'd like to take the chance to let folks know about the Nanaimo Lions Club, either the history or where it's at today?
Well, I think the biggest challenge we have going forward is as we've been saying, is to attract new members in to not only come and help us raise money and to help us give service to the public, but also to look into any of their own ideas, what they would like to pursue as a Lions program. So we're open to consider any of those things. But membership, particularly younger membership, and I'm younger. I'd say probably in the 40s and above, or younger, of course. Just to increase
people
our.
that work for radio stations.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. We welcome the ladies and gentlemen just the same. It's a club that welcomes everybody.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. Yeah.
Well, Bob, Al, Larry, congratulations on 80 years, and thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bob Huck is president of the Nanaimo Lions Club. Al, Brett and Larrie Taylor are longtime members who have each served as president in the past. The Nanaimo Lions Club is celebrating its 80th anniversary with an event at Maffeo Sutton Park this Saturday, that's August 22nd, kicking off at 10 a.m. That's our show for the day. Thank you for joining me. I'm Joe Pugh, host and producer of Midcoast Morning. Jesse Woodward is our executive producer, and RB Frew is our technical advisor. You can sign up for CHLY's newsletter at chly.ca/subscribe. If you have a story you'd like us to cover, you can email us at news@chly.ca. Our theme song is First One by local Nanaimo band Waste Management. That's all for now. I'll talk to you on another Midcoast Morning.
This program gives thanks to the Nanaimo First Nation as we broadcast and podcast from their traditional territory. Thanks for listening.